Hello familia, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Shiggy. As usual, I know this is strange. I know I haven't done a sit down and talk video in a minute, but hey, listen, I'm back. Okay, we're gonna be doing a bunch of sit down and talk videos, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. But first, we need to touch on something very important, which is going to change the channel quite a bit. Guys, the boy is going to be incorporating digital into the workflow. So I wanted to briefly talk about that because I find that ever since I've been doing live streaming and like talking to a lot of you guys, actually do shoot digital, which is very interesting. And a lot of you guys are kind of curious to be like, should I shoot digital and should I not? And I want to touch on that because I'm actually making the transition into incorporating digital into my workflow. So this is for any photographer that's very curious to be like, can these two things live together? And the answer is yes, they can live together. And I wanted to talk about that as to why you should consider even incorporating it in your workflow if you're just shooting film, which is totally fine and totally awesome. But as you guys know, film prices are going up, but we're not going to talk about the prices. It's past the prices, okay? When there's a will, there's a way. That's one thing I know about humanity. So when there's a will, there's a way. It doesn't matter about the prices and all that type of stuff. So I want to explain my decision as to why I'm trying to incorporate digital into my workflow. So there's not a lot of reasons why I've been considering incorporating digital into my workflow, except for the one thing. The more versatile you pretty much are in your art form, the more you become a photographer. So let's say, for example, I was shooting film for like 3 years actually, just straight film, no digital. And it was a really amazing experience, and it was really awesome. And here's the thing though, you sort of stop creating in a way. So like, for example, we're gonna talk about the average person, right? The average person goes out and just shoots whenever they think they should go out and shoot. But if you had a digital camera, on the other hand, you just have your camera everywhere with you, and you're not gonna think a lot about the creative flexibility that you're gonna have. So that's what digital sort of adds. It adds a lot of flexibility. So the more flexibility you have to create, the more experimental you are. But the thing is with film, right? There's a bit of a process when it comes to shooting film that sort of stops you. I mean, I'm talking from my own experience, right? Like, it sort of almost makes you think about what you want to create, but like even that thought of like, oh, should I create this, kind of takes you away from the creative juices. So let's say you're going to a party and you want to bring your point and shoot. Awesome, great, you got 3 rolls, 4 rolls, all right, awesome. You finish all those rolls, which is very possible. I've done it. You finish all those rolls and you're like, okay, so I guess I'm just gonna hold my hands and just wait until I get home and get more film. That limitation within itself is a problem. It depends on who it is, obviously. I'm talking about those people that are interested and are curious to see if these things do live together, or can live together, or can be one with each other. And yes, they totally can. Because when you're shooting film, right, I found that I like shooting very important things on film, but also there's that limitation to be like, I have this many shots and I must perfect everything. And the fact that you want to perfect something also adds a limitation in your creative process. So by you trying to perfect something that cannot even be perfect, you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to shoot a perfect photograph, but through experimenting and through trial and error and through trying this and trying that, you're gonna be able to sort of get that shot. So a lot of people are gonna start talking about, okay, so like if you switch to digital, you're just gonna start shooting a bunch of stuff. Not really, not necessarily. You have the right idea, but the thing is, when you are shooting film as well as digital, you sort of take your film mentality into digital. It's very strange, okay? Because you no longer are just a digital photographer, you're a film and digital photographer. So with being a film and digital photographer, it's no longer just about, oh, I just want to take 1,000 photographs, because you still have that value of what a photograph is. And that's what I think film sort of adds to the photographer, the digital photographer, that you start caring about your images a lot more. So for me personally, let's say I was talking to a person that is trying to be a photographer, I would 100% recommend them starting shooting film. Why is that? Because you start valuing the images a lot more. You start caring about the essence of an image a ton more. And why is that important? Because an image is actually very, very important, guys. This is one of the fewest ways to cheat time. Believe it or not, this is one of the fewest ways to totally cheat time and to freeze time and to have that essence of like that moment, to sort of hold that energy system of that moment and to remember it without having effort to sort of reflect and to actually apply the memory or the feeling you had in the memory. It's more of like an instantaneous feeling, which is the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful things ever to really experience. So I really do highly recommend that you still continue shooting film, but also apply those film essence to your digital photography and apply the freedom of creating without limitations to your digital work. So yes, they definitely can live together. But now we're gonna talk about the way the photos feel and the way everything feels. The beauty of shooting film first, or having a period of just shooting film, is that you develop an eye for how to edit a photograph. That's the beautiful thing. It's like you've seen it before and you know how a film photo looks like, so you're gonna try your hardest to mimic it. And it's not gonna be something you try, it's gonna be something that you just do because you've just been shooting film for so long and you're just like, okay, I like the film look and I want to get the film look. So it's so easy. Like, you're gonna start playing around with your oranges and your greens, and it's gonna open up that avenue to sort of tap into that specific editing style. So are your images gonna stop looking different from your other work? They're gonna look a lot sharper. That's the thing about digital that I personally not a fan of. The fact that my photos look extra sharp, but that's something you could always change in camera by just lowering your sharpness and sort of having that doughy look and adding that very like muddy, not really like grungy, but muddy feel of your images. So yes, you definitely can, but the versatility, guys, the versatility is so important. Again, this makes you more of a photographer. Like, I'm not saying if you just shoot film, you're more of a photographer. If you just shoot digital, you're more of a photographer. I'm saying if you're able to join those two avenues together and love them equally and have them work simultaneously together, then it's gonna work. So for example, you're shooting a editorial with Zara, you're able to play around and mimic those shots and be like, okay, like this is the shot I want. Okay, you're shooting with your digital camera, click. Awesome, photo looks sick, and then you're like, okay, I want to take that photo because I want to get this artistic feel out of the film photo, and then you pull out your Hasselblad. Oops. And then that's when you're gonna be able to sort of take that still that you really like, because that's the other thing, guys, that is sort of a limitation with film, that you have less room for movement and less room to sort of play around with. But if you have seen the image that you truly want and the image you truly desire out of your whole entire project before you take it with the film camera, you're gonna get a lot more substance and a lot more photos that you like photos that you cherish and value, because you have the ability to see the photo before. So the notion that they can't live together is sort of not necessarily stupid, it's sort of like doesn't make sense in a way, because your job as a photographer is to get the result, not to be like, I shot this on film, but to get a good image. And we cannot look past the fact that you can get a good image on digital and you can get a good image on film. But what is the process in which you can get a more perfect image, or a more image that you're satisfied with, that you're gonna showcase? Because to be honest with you, some people do care that it's film, but if you're working with clients and you're working as a photographer for other clients, it's not about you, it's about the client and what is best for the client. So I've been sort of trying to change my mindset with that, and sort of trying to tap into that I want to be a photographer, because I kind of realized during my journey, even on YouTube, I was becoming a YouTube photographer where I was just like, okay, I just want to shoot random stuff and shoot this, shoot that, because I just wanted to just shoot, but I wasn't working as a photographer so for the last couple of months, that has been on my mind. And when that is sort of like your essence and what you are trying to achieve, then you sort of see the other side to be like, okay, like digital does give you opportunities and flexibilities that you can use, and you can still get the artistic side of film, which is the most beautiful side as well. So can they live together? Yes. Do I recommend that they do? Yes. And the channel is going to be incorporating those things as well. And we're going to be dabbling between both of the film and digital. And it's going to depend on the project, right? If I'm working with clients, some clients don't want film, and it's okay. They just don't want film. But again, it depends on your perspective. If you're a hobbyist, then maybe it's just okay for you to just shoot film. That's totally fine. But if you're trying to be a more versatile photographer and offer everything, then I really highly suggest you do shoot digital and film. And that's the route that I'm going to be taking, and the route I want to introduce onto the channel. But with that being said, guys, next video that I'm probably gonna record after this one is what's in my camera bag. So you guys are gonna get an update on what's in my actual camera bag. There's a lot of changes ever since the last couple months. So I'm very excited to sort of start tapping into this avenue and to start talking about digital as well, because digital is very beautiful and it is very, very liberating to use. So if you really like this, comment down below and let me know. If you have your own opinion, because I know a lot of you guys have your own opinion based on this, comment down below. I'm open to having a discussion. If you agree, if you don't agree, that's totally fine. Let's open it up in a discussion in the comment section. And with that being said, guys, thank you guys for everybody tuned in. So I've been like not active on YouTube quite a bit, but a lot of you guys have stuck with me, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love you guys so much, and I'm extremely, extremely grateful. And yeah, thank you guys again. If you're new, follow me on Instagram. It's called Shot by Shingy. Everything Twitch. I do live streaming and stuff every Friday where I check out you guys' work and all that type of stuff. So if you really are interested in following me on social media and all that type of stuff, follow me on Shot by Shingy everything. And if you're interested in seeing this shirt that I'm wearing that says shoot film, waybetterco.com. It's all going to be linked down below. I created it, and it really helps when you guys purchase my work and purchase my stuff. So thank you to everybody that has been making a purchase. I love you. Thank you again. I'm excited to be back and feeling refreshed and all that type of stuff. So